through yoga, emphasizing how yoga can transcend boundaries, foster unity, and cultivate love among all beings. Dr. Suvro Kamal Datta.
नमस्कार आदरणीय प्रेमवत जी, my very dear friend Lakshmi Veraji, and other distinguished panelists on the dais, lovely faculty members, and my dear friends. Today is the International Yoga Day. 180 countries are performing yoga in the United Nations under the guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Why this has been possible? This has been possible because India is a country of ancient knowledge, ancient universal love, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं, एन एंशिएंट ब्रदरहुड. और शायद ये भारत के लिए ही संभव था कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पटल पे इंटरनेशनल योगा डे भी मनाया जाए और उसके साथ साथ संयुक्त राष्ट्र जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पटल का एक केंद्र है वहाँ पे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा भी मनाया जाए. आई स्टार्ट विथ अ वेरी डिवाइन श्लोका dedicated to Ma Saraswati. Saraswati Mahabhage, and I will explain it in English. Saraswati Mahabhage, Goddess Saraswati means the Mahabhagya. Vidya Kamalanochane, Vidya means knowledge, Kamalanochane, Kamal. Through your internal power, you can see this internal and eternal might of knowledge. Vidya Rupe Vishalakhi, Vidya Rupe, again the goddess of Vidya, Vishalakhi, the eternal and the internal eye of yours gives you that power to see that divine knowledge and feel that divine prem or that divine love inside you, the divinity of brotherhood inside you. Vidya Rupe Vishalakhi, Vidyadhari Namostute. Because she is the goddess which gives you the essence of eternal love and the essence of eternal knowledge. That's the reason she is the goddess of knowledge. Vidya Rupe Vishalakhi, Vidyadhari Namostute. Professor Lakshmidhar ji has quoted many shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. What greater a philosophy than Bhagavad Gita? And I quote from Einstein, the great scientist of the world. When he had given to the whole world the cosmic notion of the Big Bang theory, and when there was a press conference going on in London, the great scientist was asked by the Western media personalities, from where did you get this knowledge, or from where did you enhance this knowledge? You know what was his reply? His reply was in 2 sentences or in 2 words. The first was Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the second was yoga. So the people in the West, they were tempted to ask him, how is this possible? Because that time, colonialism was at its peak days or at its heydays. So it was very difficult for Western civilization to accept this. Einstein said, in Bhagavad Gita, I saw the Big Bang theory. When the Virat Roop of Lord Krishna as Mahayogi or Mahavishnu, when Arjun was very reluctant to fight the Mahabharata war, and when Lord Krishna showed his cosmic self or the Mahayogi self, in that Mahayogi self, everything was depicted. everything was depicted about life, about the essence of life. What is life all about? Where we come from and where we go. So the notion of pulsars, the notion of quasars, the notion of matter, the notion of antimatter, the notion of the Big Bang theory, or the notion of the, of the black hole and the white hole, everything was shown in that Virat Roop of Lord Krishna when he showed to the whole universe that मुझ में ही समाया है सारा कुछ और मुझसे ही उत्पत्ति होती है इस पूरा ब्रह्मांड का. So that cosmic mind or that cosmic self, Arjuna could grasp that because he went through the meditative mind, which we call the ultimate simulation or the ultimate connectivity of the conscious mind with the subconscious mind. And that we do it through yoga or through telepathy. And that is possible only when you are a practicing yogi yourself. You can see that cosmic self or that cosmic mind, and you can feel that. In ancient Indian knowledge system, we have different Muladhar chakras. There are several chakras starting from your feet right up to here. Here is the Brahma chakra. So when you meditate, and especially if you meditate during the time of the Brahm Muhurat, I always do that myself. I have been meditating from the age of 2.5 years. I was inspired to do this by my mother. So when you meditate, with a gradual process, this whole Muladhar chakra gets emancipated, or it opens up. And ultimately, it is the Brahma chakra, or the third eye, which we call. Now, when that gets emancipated, you actually understand what you are and where you go and where we come from. And that's the reason in Shiv Puran, the Rishi Bhrigu, about whom you mentioned, says, Sattam Shivam Sundaram. Sattam means the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth of knowledge is Sattam. The actual truth or the truthful knowledge is Sattam, which is so blissful, which is so beautiful, which is so deified, and which is so divine. That's the reason it is called Shivam. So the ultimate truth, which is blissful, is Shivam. And because it is blissful, because it is so cosmic, it is so powerful, it is so radiating, that's the reason it is Sundaram. Sundaram, or the internal wealth, or the eternal wealth. And that's the reason in Devi Puran we have Ya Devi Sharva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupe Namastita Namastashvai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sharva Bhuteshu Vidya Rupe Namastita Namastashvai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sharva Bhuteshu Lakshmi Rupe Namastita Namastashvai 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 Namo Namaha. Out here, Shakti means the internal power, the power inside you. That is Shakti. Lakshmi out here means the internal wealth, the wealth which is inside you, not the monetary wealth which we quantify in terms of money. The internal wealth which is inside you, that is Vaibhav Lakshmi, or that is Lakshmi Rupe Namastita. And how we understand this? We understand this through Vidya, or through knowledge. It is Vidya, Shakti and Lakshmi, which is a combination which makes in the Mahamaya or the Yog Maya. And that's the reason in Shakti Puran, if you have to control your Maya, or if you have to control your Tamasic Gun or your Rajasic Gun, then you have to do that through the notion of knowledge, through yoga. And that's the reason Mahamaya comes in. And Mahamaya actually eradicates the Maya inside you, the Maya of lust, the maya of, the maya of getting more and more things, the maya of hatred, the maya of animosity, the maya of, taking everything for yourself. All this maya, one by one, it gets destroyed or it gets emancipated through Yog Maya. And how this happens? It happens through the opening up of the Muladhara chakra of yours. So that is where the essence of India lies. That is where the essence of ancient Indian knowledge system lies. This is something which we need to emancipate, or this is something which we need to give it to back to the whole world once again today. If I go to Devi Puran, there is a shlok where it is described, Sahasra Shastra Hare Devi Narayani Namostute, which means in this 1,000 hands of yours, O the goddess of knowledge, O the goddess of eternal might, O the goddess of eternal wealth, you have the 1,000 book of knowledge. Sahasra Shastra Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Through that you show the whole world the eternal knowledge of love, the eternal knowledge of tranquility, the eternal knowledge of sublimity as such. And that's the reason you are Sahasra Shastra Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. If I go to Kalika Puran, in Kalika Puran, again it is said, Namostute. Here it is Brahmani Namostute. Brahmani comes from the ultimate world called Brahm. Brahm, which means the cosmic world. Brahm, which means the celestial world. Brahm, which means the ultimate, connectivity of the soul with the supreme soul. And that's the reason she is Brahmani. Hare Devi Brahmani Namostute. Then comes in Shristi Stute Vinashini Narayani Namostute. Mahayoge when the world is attacked by the tamasic forces, then she comes with that might to protect the whole world from this tamasic vices. जब चरम सीमा पे vices हो जाती है, जब चरम सीमा पे आगुन फैल जाता है गुण के जगह पे, तो then the goddess of knowledge or the goddess of eternal power, she comes with that might to give in a kind of a proper direction to the whole world. And how she comes? She comes in the Rupa of Maheshwari, or the concept of Lord Shiva. And then comes in, Gunomay, Yogmay, Yogashray, Maheshwari Namostute. So she comes as Narayani to show the whole world that what is correct and what is self-righteousness, and how we need to go back to the world of self-righteousness. Once that happens, then we are again in the state of bliss, or we are again in the state of Shivam, or Sattam, or Sundaram. And she teaches this to the whole world in the form of Maheshwari, or in the form of Lord Shiva as such, So something which is imbibed in our ancient knowledge system, something which is there in our culture, in our philosophy, in our ethos, we have forgotten that today. It is a sad irony that today the whole Western world is actually inculcating all this knowledge which is there in the Upanishads, which is there in the Shastras, and which is there in the Vedas, and they are marketing this to the whole world as something which is of their own. Why? क्योंकि हम लोग तो एक निद्रा में चले गए ना, वो निद्रा जिसको हम लोग कुंभकर्ण की निद्रा कहते हैं, उस पे चले गए, और इसीलिए आज पश्चिम ने हमारे सारे चीजों को पूरे दुनिया में अपने हिसाब से वो लोग मार्केटिंग कर रहे हैं. ये दुख की बात है, and that's the irony why Taekwondo, which originated in Manipur, has been patented by Japan. Haldi and neem has been patented by United States of America. इससे ज़्यादा दुर्भाग्य क्या हो सकता है इस देश की? And then again, martial art has been patented by China. क्योंकि हम तो सोते रहे और हमें तो खुशी मिलती है सोते हुए. इसको पुनः जीवित करने की आवश्यकता है. A lot depends on the shoulder of the younger generation today. It is really good that in the form of a Maharishi, we have the Honorable Prime Minister of India who understood this. And that's the reason he took it to the whole world. The yoga, the concept of yoga. पश्चिम तैयार थे योगा को भी चोरी करने के लिए और पेटेंट करने के लिए, पर समय पे हम लोगों ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय लेवल पे योगा को लेके आ गए और आज दुनिया में भारत की जय जयकार हो रही है इसके चलते. There are countries across the world which has dedicated their capital city in the name of yoga. If I go to Indonesia, Jakarta, Yogi Katra. Yogi comes from the word yoga. Yoga Katra se Yogi Katra, Yogi Katra se Jakarta. So Indonesia is a Muslim country, but when I went there in Indonesia, the first greeting which I got in Indonesia when I landed in their Garuda Airlines, Garuda, जो भगवान विष्णु के वाहन हैं, उनके नाम पे Garuda Airlines, all of them, they greeted me with a Om Saste Nastu. I don't know how many of you out here would actually know the word or the phrase or the meaning of the shloka Om Saste Nastu. Does anyone know? Yes, absolutely. So this is something, like मैं तो तुच्छ हूं, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं हूं. ये ब्रह्मांड पूरा उस जगत पिता का है और ये ब्रह्मांड की जिसकी उत्पत्ति होती है ओम से, उसी से मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूं ओम सस्ते नास्तु कहते हुए कि पधारिए हमारे देश में, हे अतिथि देव भाव, और यहां इस देश का आनंद लीजिए. मैंने पूछा उन सबको, व्हाट्स योर नेम? Someone said, I'm Ibrahim Arjuna. Someone said, I am Muhammad Arjuna, Muhammad Krishna. Someone said, I'm Iqbal Ram. Someone said, I'm Sushil Muhammad. Someone said, I'm Saraswati Ibrahim. Someone said, I'm Lakshmi Ibrahim. And someone said, I'm Durga Iqbal. This is what is called preservation of ancient culture and ancient philosophy. Indonesia got converted into Islam around 1628 AD onwards, but they retained their own culture. Ramayana is the national book of Indonesia. Ramayana is the national book of Cambodia. Cambodia comes from the word Kamboj or Kampuchea. Then Ramayana is the national book of Thailand. Thailand का पुराना नाम है सियाम. सियाम comes from the word Lord Sham, जिनके बारे में प्रोफेसर लक्ष्मीधर जी ने आज उल्लेख किया है, about Lord Krishna. All the kings of Thailand, they are known as Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 3, Rama 4. मौजूदा जो राजा है रामायण थाईलैंड का, he is known as भूमिबल अतुल्या देज Rama the 16. भूमि means earth, अतुल्या means sun. सूर्य नमस्कार के बारे में आपने उल्लेख किया है, अतुल्या is sun, तेज is light or नूर. So भूमिबल अतुल्या तेज Rama the 16th. This is the essence of India. This is the greatness of India. If I go to Afghanistan of ancient times, the province of Sistan, or which comes from the word Shivstan, Shiv, abode of Lord Shiva. Sthan means abode. शिव स्थान से सिस्तान, Kandahar from Gandhar was a epicenter of ancient yoga and ancient philosophy. गांधारी से बड़ा महायोगिनी कोई नहीं था महाभारत में, and she was a शिव भक्तिनी, you know. So like I mean, ये जो भारत का जो पुराना इतिहास है, इसको पुनः जीवित करना बहुत आवश्यक है आज के डेट में. अगर हम लोग इसको कर पाएंगे तो मैं समझता हूं कि टुडे वुड बी अ सक्सेस स्टोरी ऑफ इंडिया. वी हैव जस्ट एनलाइटन द होल वर्ल्ड थ्रू द नोशन ऑफ इंटरनेशनल योगा डे. मैं बधाई देता हूं IIT मंडी को कि आपने इतने शानदार दिन में यू एक्चुअली टुक दिस चैलेंज ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग such a huge concept, such a huge philosophy in the name of international yoga. वहां पे अमेरिका में इंटरनेशनल योगा का जय जयकार हो रहा है, आज मंडी में इंटरनेशनल योगा का जय जयकार हो रहा है. मैं गर्वित महसूस करता हूं कि आपने हमें बुलाया है यहाँ पे अपनी बातें रखने के लिए, और मैं समझता हूं कि आप जैसे आज हम लोगों ने योगा को पेटेंट कर दिया है, 2024 के बाद हम सब एक प्राण ले, एक शपथ ले कि लेट अस ऑल्सो मेक मेडिटेशन a international phenomenon which has originated from India and which has given the light to the whole world. और खत्म करता हूं अपने एक बात से, एक फेमस हिस्टोरियन के कपलेट से, A.L. Basham, a German historian, a wonder that was India. मैं कहता हूं India was always a wonder, India is always a wonder, and India shall remain always a wonder. And the couplet says, East bowed before the blast, in patient thought disdain. She let the legends thunder past, bowed in deep thoughts again. अंतर भी समझा देता हूं पश्चिम और मिडिल ईस्ट के साथ. जब 2 मिनट और दीजिए मुझे. East bowed before the blast. East means the great country called Bharat. Bowed before the blast. Bowed before the onslaughts which came from the West in form of colonialism, or the medieval onslaughts which came from the Arab world. In patient thought disdain. In patient thought disdain मतलब अपनी philosophical mode से. With a lot of patience, she accepted the onslaught. ये वही व्यक्ति कर पाता है जो कर्म योगी हो. आप अगर कर्म योगी है, आप अगर अपने आप को योगा के माध्यम से अगर पूरा जीवन को आप देखते हैं, तो आप ऐसे ऑनस्लॉट्स को बहुत पेशेंटली आप विथ पेशेंट थॉट डिस्डेन. शी लेट द लेजेंड्स थंडर पास्ट. शी लेट ऑल द साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म्स ऑफ इन्वेशन थंडर पास्ट, bowed in deep thoughts again. Bowed back in her philosophical mode once again. और इसीलिए आक्रांता जितने आए, जब वो भारत को समझ पाए और जान पाए कि ये प्राचीन भारत क्या है, तो फिर नतमस्तक होके जाके शरणागत हुए हमारे देश के तमाम तप योगियों के सामने, इन विक्रमशिला और इन नालंदा और इन तक्षशिला. And gave and then said, hey, हम तो एक तरह से मतलब कि we were absolutely, you know, like I mean, we didn't know what is the truth of life as such. We were so abnormal and we were so agnostic to the eternal knowledge. Yours is a country of the Maharishis. I bow down before you as a disciple. Teach me the knowledge of ancient philosophy. Teach me the value of decimal system. Teach me the knowledge of cosmic self, and teach me the gyan of Brahmalok and the gyan of Shivlok and the gyan of Vaikuntha as such, you know. And that's the reason Firdausi or Al-Baruni, or for that matter Max Muller or Percy Brown or the rest, भारत के इसी धरोहर के सामने, देवी सरस्वती के सामने नतमस्तक होके इस एंशिएंट नॉलेज को अपने अंदर लिए और फिर पूरे भारत का स्तुति पूरी दुनिया में एक तरह से प्रकाशित किए हैं। आप सब एम्बेसडर हो इस देश का, समय आ चुका है कि इसी स्तुति को हम लोग पूरे दुनिया में अब फैलाए, थ्रू लव, थ्रू कल्चर, थ्रू फिलॉसफी एंड थ्रू नॉलेज, नॉट थ्रू पावर और नॉट थ्रू कॉन्क्वेस्ट। कॉन्क्वेस्ट के माध्यम से नहीं हो सकता है, पावर के माध्यम से नहीं हो सकता है, इंटरनल और इटर्नल स्ट्रेंथ के माध्यम से हो सकता है। और जिस दिन हम लोग ये कर लेंगे, पूरा दुनिया इस देश की उस गुणगान गाएगी, सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम, या तो फिर या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धि रूपे नमस्तिता, नमस्तस्वै 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 नमो नमः। जय भारत, जय भारती।